Hi guys, it's Miss Backus, and we're going to be focusing on multiples today. When we talk about multiples, we're really just talking about a number that's found by multiplying that particular number by another whole number. For example, to find the first 10 multiples of 3, we're going to count by 3 10 times. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. I can also think about that using multiplication, which makes sense since the name multiple sounds a lot like multiplication. So if I'm finding the first 10 multiples of 3, I can also think of it as 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 3 times 6, 3 times 7, 3 times 8, 3 times 9, and finally 3 times 10. I want you guys to go ahead and try one with me. I want us to list the first 7 multiples of 8. That basically means that I'm going to be thinking about skip counting by 8 or multiplying 1 times 1 or 8 times 1, 8 times 2, and so on until I get to the 7th multiple of 8. So if I think about it using multiplication, that's 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4, 8 times 5, 8 times 6, and finally 8 times 7. That's the same thing as 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, and 56. So that means that the first 7 multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 40, 48, and 56. I could also say that the 7th multiple of 8 is 56. Another question that I could ask myself is, what is the 12th multiple of 5? Well, if I'm thinking about finding the 12th multiple of 5, I know that I need to skip count by 5 12 times. That's the same thing as thinking of 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, and so on until I got to 5 times 12. If I'm thinking about counting out loud, about skip counting out loud, I could think, well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and finally 60. I can see that the 12th time that I count by 5 puts me at 60. That means that I could also say that the 12th multiple of 5 is 60. What's the 8th multiple of 9? Well, I can work on condensing my thinking a little bit, and I could think of that as being the same as skip counting 9 by 9 8 times. I could also use what I know about multiplication. Well, if I'm skip counting by 9 8 times, I'm saying 9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, and so on until I get to 9 times 8. So I could shorten that just a little bit by thinking of what is 9 times 8. That must mean that the 8th multiple of 9 is 72, because 9 times 8 is 72. All right, I want you to try a problem. I want you to list the first 4 multiples of 3. Go ahead and pause the video and then come back together and we can check your work. All right, if you're listing the first 4 multiples of 3, that means that you're skip counting by 3 4 times. That's the same thing as thinking of 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, and 3 times 4. So that means that the first 4 multiples of 3 must be 3, 6, 9, and 12. All right, I have one more for you to try. What is the 6th multiple of 10? Go ahead and pause your video and restart it when you're ready to check your work. If I'm trying to find the 6th multiple of 10, I know that I'm skip counting by 10 6 times. That's the same thing as 10 times 6. So that must mean that the 6th multiple of 10 is 60. Try skip counting now. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. As you can see from our practice today, skip counting and using your basic fact knowledge is really going to help you to identify multiples. It's important that you keep practicing those facts because we're going to be using multiples for lots of important math skills this year.